Check one. Yes, people. Welcome again to Dbja podcast Sundayz with myself, DJ Daddy UK, alongside A1 Ras, John Niceness, Bipolar. We're there, I want to start off by saying rest in peace to one of my heroes growing up, the man called Earl Simmons DMX. Because I know from the age of about 12, I grew up listening to this man. And to hear what's happened to him and to hear the latest podcast that he was in before he passed away, I just want to take a bit of time to reflect on it and everybody just get their ideas and their opinions on what they think the situation is. So without further ado, this is DMX on a podcast with Uprox videos, so big up to them.
Shape you as an artist, and you maybe share a story from the early days when around youngest.
Well, I kind of grew up with hip hop, where we like as hip hop. When people think hip hop is not just music, hip hop is a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's a way of talking. It's a way of standing. The b-boy stance. You know what I'm saying? Graffiti. DJ, breakdance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had to do something that was a part of hip hop lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I started beatboxing, and he was part of the music aspect of it.
It was any line.
Wow, whoa. Okay, shit just got real. All right. So, I'm a youngest, and I just come home from being in institutions from age 7 to 14. And this guy, Lady Ron, he was like an older brother. And he would rap, and I would do beatbox. I looked up to him like an older brother. I love this guy like an older brother, and I have any brothers. And man, I would beatbox rap, and then he suggested one time, he said, you know what? Why don't you go write a couple of rhymes and go back and do beatbox for you? You know what I'm saying? We got your face. I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I went upstairs, taking a piss, and that's when my first rhyme came to me. You know what I'm saying? And referring to incidents occurring in past times when the beats of my profession, I had no rhymes with the day time change and still to my will. That's when I remember turning up the MC Hill to make my first step forward, to leave behind my past, and I put my future first, everything else last. First rhyme was unacceptable, but that's what changed by taking parts of words and then rearrange it. A story, you know what I'm saying? That's what back then. And man, this guy, and I can tell by his response that it was like, it was a dope rhyme. I'm like, okay, so we worked out like that. But this guy, man.
Hold on here, John. All right, brother.
Introduce me to what would be the best part. Which would be the rap. We also, at the end of my life, is blessed with the curse. And the curse aspect of it was, I didn't smoke cigarettes, I didn't smoke weed, I didn't do anything. I'm not 14 years old. We were married for a while. This is his birthday, and we came back. We put the money yesterday. Take this, go get something. Nice for your birthday rap. So we came back with a blunt rolled up, and I'm counting the money. That's the money. Like I said, I wasn't dressed, or not already smoking. If I got it, and we passed the ball around, and wow. And I had to go out like I was no longer focused on the money. I never felt like it just fucked me up. I'm like, the fuck? I later found out that he laced the blood with crack. Why would you do that to a child? Like 30, you know what I'm saying? And they do what I looked up to him. He do what I looked up to him, you know what I'm saying? And why would you do that to somebody who looks up to you? Like,
Take your time, brother.
The monster was born. The monster was born. I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I mean, as I said, especially with somebody you supposedly love.
Yeah.
Not even love. You want to do that. When I had one of my songs called Pain, I smoked crack at 14 for the first time. Give it to me by a nigga that I idolized. My love was real. But after that, when I saw his eyes, it was a snake. Who I love was just disguised. So the person that I love is a snake. And he acted like he was a good person. You know what I'm saying? He acted like he was loving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't, we wanted to talk a little bit more about, about addiction, about pathologies in the hood, and I didn't expect for, I didn't understand, even asking that question, how that's all tied up together, but it speaks to what I said in the intro, is that you showed us who you were, you were unapologetic about telling the story, and the difference between you and a lot of these celebrities, and as I said to you last night, is that you're a true artist, that you live and breathe this art, and it's not separate. The rhyming is not separate from who you are as a person. It's like it's really life or death, because it comes from a life or death experience. We appreciate you being so strong and weathering those storms, so you could come and tell us these stories.
Thank you. I don't see. I can actually, if no one else, and to open up like this about this, the way there's other than you. I have a tremendous amount of respect for you. I mean, when you think real MCs, you're right there.
I love and appreciate you, man.
I mean, it's just what it is. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm glad it was you that I got to talk to. I mean, and I feel like you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I point out the other aspects of the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just focus on, no, hip hop. You had to, do something that was a part of hip hop. Yeah, like it is what it was. You know what I'm saying? Graffiti, all that. You know what I'm saying? That is beatbox, but you. Thank you. Thank you for helping me open that door, because
thank you, brother.
That's actually the biggest problem, not addiction. And I always said this. I mean, drugs were never a problem. Drugs were a symptom of a biggest problem, a bigger problem. And there was things that I went through in my childhood, and where I just blocked it out. But there's only so much you can block out, before you run out of space. And then you don't know when it's gonna come out and just fall all over the place. And it might not. It probably won't be a pretty situation. So I learned that I had to deal with the things that hurt me that I didn't deal with when they hurt, and when they happened. I didn't deal with them then. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? When you open this door and start dealing with this shit now before it comes at the wrong time, and I'll be, no more good to anybody. So that's what, that's what's helped. You know what I'm saying? With addiction and sobriety, and just knowing that, there's some of the stuff out. There's something out.
Yeah.
And, I really didn't have anybody to talk to about it, because the hood is like, I was like, all right, this is what it's like. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to even help with talking, because talking about it is viewed as a sign of weakness, when it's actually one of the bravest things you can do. One of the bravest things you can do is, put it on the table and chop it up and just let it out. It has to be to the right person. It has to be with the right person.
I think that I'm happy that the stigma for talking about mental health is not being considered weak, because it's actually very strong, because it takes a lot of courage for you to be able to talk about what's going on, and when somebody asks you how your day is going and you not just say fine, but you actually let them know what's going on in your life, so that either they can help you out, or sometimes just speaking it out to another person can be what you need in order to move on to the next level.
Yes.
Yo, so people, I want to say rest in peace to Earl Simmons, DMX. As I said at the beginning, I grew up listening to the man's music. I've got his greatest hits album, X-Gon Give It Ya. I think everybody knows who we're talking about when we talk about DMX. So can I get everyone who's with us now, can I get your memories or your how you know of DMX, how he came into your life, or what was the first CD you purchased by him? Because I know that he touched many lives, not just us four. There's thousands of people, millions of people that this man's lives touched and changed.
Sure. Fire.
Yo, yo.
Daddy, we lower that clear.
First, I must say, condolences to the family, you know, and man, it's a great loss. A matter of fact, for a while now, we've been having dark vibing music in terms of the passing of a lot of musicians in all genres of music, both reggae music, rap music, all over the world. And you know, it's just sad when it comes to it. It's sad all around, but DMX thing, you know, it really moved me away because, you know, I listened to him talk and stuff, and he was saying that he's clean of certain things. But I understand from being around people who have been hooked on drugs, I understand the kind of demon that they fight, and it's not really an easy thing to do. You understand? I remember, I won't call no name, but I remember recording an artist in Jamaica one time, real prolific artist in the 90s, late 80s, 90s, and he did a song, and I was rewinding the tape to record him again for him to do a double track, and he fell asleep just in the couple seconds I take to rewind the 24 track. He fell asleep.
For real.
You understand me? So I'm just trying to show you that it's a kind of demon that these people fight. And my God, man, I'm just so sorry to hear about DMX. It really moved my heart, and I just want to send out condolences to the family. And you know, he's really a nice person in terms of, you know, when you listen to him speak, you could know that boy, this is a good human being. You know, he just have a struggle with this demon called drugs. You know, and it's just sad, you know, because even on this interview that I just watched, you know, I wouldn't like expect that would happen, because it seems as if he had you know, like getting control over certain things. You understand me? But I'm sad to know that, you know, the way it end up, they're saying that is overdose and stuff like that.
Nah, the family. Let me cut you. Let me cut you and tell you something. The family have said that he had the COVID vaccine just a couple of weeks ago. That's what they're saying killed him. Because I'm not being funny. But
wow,
whatever the addiction is that you're addicted to, you have alcoholics that are dangerously addicted to alcohol, and they live for 30, 40, 50, 60 odd years. There's the same with people that take these drugs. They still live on because he's been taking this for so many years. That would not kill him. So the family is saying it's the vaccine.
And after
it's
so
whatever
many
poisons
years
in that vaccine.
You should understand, like, the amount that he's supposed to be taking.
Well, from what I know, he was clearing himself up. But as we've just heard there, how could, like bipolar, really and truthfully, yeah, let's put it in perspective. Say you know a 14-year-old youth, yeah, who's really good at dancehall music. you wouldn't give them a spliff of crack like after they've just performed, would you? You like it just wouldn't happen. It doesn't make sense. Like you wouldn't do that to your protege, let alone your worst enemy, and that's what that man did to him.
DJ Daddy, let me put a little input in.
Go on,
You
go
know,
on.
and you know, we kind of the music industry get a hit, and you know, the music industry, like Fire Nice has said, been getting a hit all this last year, this year, and it's like a time for the musicians them to fall, you know. So we just embrace life, and as we move along, but a lot of things happen to not just the musician as we go along, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have to be careful of our surrounding. We have to be wise. We have to be careful who we trust. These people who we put the trust in, we have to be careful, you know, because what happened basically, DMX had trusted this guy, and you know, this guy laced his first blunt with some cocaine. And remember, a lot of times people get hurt by family members too, you know.
Yeah.
So, and it's such a pain, because I could basically see that this guy was fading. The last couple of interviews I'm looking at, I wasn't feeling the health. You know, I saw like what, like basically when they start talking about he's in this coma and whatever, I'm like, they're gonna kill that man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, you know, DMX is one of those guys that they really never like. You know, these are one of the black guys that make money from music. See what I'm saying? Not only that, where people look to. These guys are influential guys growing up in the 80s, 90s. These guys' music was very influential into white homes.
Yeah, bro.
So of course they got to get him. That's my 1 cent.
I completely agree. I think it's the same. As soon as you start to come out and start exposing the truths, look out, because they'll just kill you off. Whether it's lethal injection, whether it's COVID, whether they hang you in a prison cell, like however they do it, they get away with it. They've been doing it for years, and they will still continue to do it past the day that I die, and all of us on this stream nowadays. But for me, like, it was a newspaper clipping that I saw, and DMX died on the same day as Prince Philip. Now, this is what I want to get into. Everyone's saying about how the whole of Britain is up in arms and we're all crying our eyes out over Prince Philip. But when I play you this next clip, I don't know. Like, to me, yeah, a man of 18 years of age should never meet a 14-year-old child. Whether it was in 1940, 1950, 1960, 2021, it just should never be. So that's going to be an interesting clip when we get to that. But I don't want to program to that. I want to keep talking about the memories. Next, obviously, get Bipolar's view, and get to where we are.
Yes, brother. Evening, everybody. You don't know. Yo, you don't know. It's another loss. You get me? I'm saying, when one born, you must cry, because that child brings sin upon the land. And when one gone, you should rejoice. But condolences to the family. Death is very important, you know what I mean? It's how you accept it. It's how you deal with it, you know what I'm saying? And big up Shabba as well, because I don't know, Shabba just lost his mother as well. Condolences to Shabba and Shabba mother.
Yeah.
And death, bro, acceptance is a hell of a thing in life. As long as we know to deal with acceptance, we will learn to embrace a lot of things in less than looking down it as a negative way. We look at it in a way where, it could have been worse, or we still be grateful. We look at it in a more grateful way than a saddened way. So man say, but DMX, you know what I mean? Like, for me, it was Rough Riders, you see what I say?
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, Rough Riders, looking at days, Eve, So I said, I'm come to Jamaica spring break. Because I see DMX at Jamaica and I see Eva Jamaica and spring break. You know what I mean? Because whenever the England them time in the early 90s, so I said,
Mad.
Sundayz. Because you believe I'm Moby, you know what I say, we just swim in that water and go over there. You see, because we're not pay if you're going as a youth. Yeah, tie up your clothes in a bag and swim in the water and go over in the Sundayz and change. You get me?
Mad.
Yeah, man, so if you see DMX at Jamaica, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, DMX, the rapper, you know? Enough artists, man, but stick to DMX. But condolence to the family as well, you know what I mean? I don't know if you have children, I don't know, but you know, condolence if you have children, same way, you know what I mean? The whole thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's sad, but we have to just look
I think he has 10 children.
Yeah, blessings, yes. Rises. But when I say DJ, basically from a long time, I'm going to try to get rid of him because a man where him similar to Tupac. Them say a lot of things where I know everything good for say for the public. You know what I say? When you say certain things to the public, you make yourself a target and then you become like a public enemy. And that's a long time I'm going to try to get rid of the X, you get me? So you never know.
It just goes to show, doesn't it? It just goes to show, like we were talking about last week, they will build up your career and they will break your career in the same move, bro. It's like a game of chess. If you make the wrong move towards them and you try and beat them at a game of chess, boy, watch them flip the board, watch them change the stage. You're a crackhead, you're a paedophile, you're everything, possibly racist, hated every... Yeah. There's so many isms and schisms they can throw at someone. But for me, watching DMX the last couple of years, he seems to me like he was trying to mentor people, you know, like try and actually let people know a little insight of what's happening in the industry. Don't get tricked by what we call the fuckery.
Long time, from long time. That's why they've been blackballing his music from like the late 90s. Before the 2000s come in, they've been blackballing him. You know what I'm saying? DMX come at Jamaica 2099, you know. I said, come to Jamaica, come shoot Belly, you know, the first movie with Sonny Rankin, R.I.P. Sonny Rankin. You know what I mean? AK, the top shotter. You see what I say? Yeah, man, so, you know what I mean? Condolence to Sonny Rankin family as well. So DMX always come to Jamaica, you know. So, a long time, I'm a blackball him. DMX should have been bigger than how him is already, you know. But Trim speak a lot. It's just like Tupac. If you find a man where sometimes wisdom will kill you because you said too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, you have to be careful what you say to the public. And once you put it out there to the public, it's already out there. So I say, and then it reach the eyes and ears of high influential people who know I really see that or hear that. So and them disagree with it. And by disagreeing with it, they make decisions that go against you and it might be life costly. You know what I mean? Might end up losing a life years later. You never know. Like,
that is so true, bro.
Very true, my brother.
Yo, me never born come to Bob Marley, you know. Bob Marley dead before me born, you know. But enough people say, I inject Bob. Enough people have the more conspiracy to say I inject Bob, you know. Like CIA did want to kill Bob Marley. So I mean, I'm cut that here, man, before them come for me. You get me?
If I remember correctly, it was a pair of dirty football boots they give him.
Yo?
If I'm correct, I'm sure they give him a pair of dirty football boots when he come to England, and then he ended up with an infection in his foot, and then the man was harassing. He didn't want no surgery.
Yeah, fam. Like,
but again, bro, don't shoot the messenger, innit? Yo, big up to Big Man who's locked in. I want to plug some of the UK artists right now. Obviously, Bipolar, Mad Boss, we got him. We got Raver as well. Big bad singer, DJ, Sing J, whatever you want to call him. Big up Raver. Big up to the 1-5 Boss. I want to shout out Biggs Man. I want to shout out J Man, Gypsy General, Unseen, See That. Yo, just a few more people. So they need to shout out. Yo, and another person as well is getting a plug today as well. Shout out to Marcus, MG, One Love Clothing people. In the next coming months, I will actually have some of the clothing to wear, and it will be available for people to buy as well. That's One Love Clothing, so big up yourself for that. So then we were just saying then that it just seemed like he was a messenger, innit? He was trying to help the latest youths get off that path before they end up on that path, if that makes sense. Is everyone in agreement with that?
Bro, it could be, you know what I mean? Because, you know, everything, you can't rule out no possibilities. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're going to have suspicion, you have to include all possibilities. But what may I say, a lot of conspiracy been going on around a lot of music artists, and whether them try to bring peace or them try to bring aggression or violence, once you say certain things, whether left or right, them still will drop you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All when years have passed by, they wait until years pass by sometime to make sure they get you.
Right. Yeah, look for even Capitan. Look for Capitan. You know them put all copper in them food, dog. You know what I mean? Them put copper in the man food, my youth. Like these people, they don't rush. We try wipe, you know, my youth. These people take them time. You get me I say? But
I get to learn to know that you see anything that you don't want them to know or what you don't do, them try to use it against you. Them know that Capitan is a man where very skeptic with him food. Them try to find PR of the chef. These people are they plan stuff, bro.
right, that's all.
Yo, trust me. I was just wondering if anybody had an update on what we was talking about, the major event that's just happened during the week. If anyone knows what I'm talking about.
No, I'm not sure, brother.
Let me get it right. It's donating towards the victims.
Major events, but is there no one specifically?
Yeah. Let me try and pronounce it correct. It says the La Soufriere eruption. The drop-off points are in High Wycombe, Tidworth, Birmingham, Gosport, Slough, East London, London, and South London. And also, items are required are toothbrushes, soap, shower gel, toilet paper, washing powder, roll-on deodorant, shampoo, adult pads, painkillers, mattresses, blankets, sheets, masks, first aid kits, gloves, blow-up beds, nappies for up to 2 years, wipes, food, anything in canned rice, pasta, or anything that's non-perishable. And I got that off Tanya Stevens' page, so that must be for real. This is for in St. Vincent, I think, if I'm correct. Does anyone know anything else about this, or is this the first we're hearing about this now?
What's that?
It was a major event that's happened, bro. An eruption.
I'm not sure. But there's some madness
I
going on
heard
in the
about it.
Caribbean.
I think it's in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yeah, St. Vincent. Let me see if I can get it on the camera. Wait there. I'm not very good at this camera editing, so you have to just...
Wait, you don't know when Mother Nature ready to take, to deal with things, you know, we can't do nothing in a cap. Things like a volcano and them things there. We don't have no control over them things there. And sometimes people can live on volcanic land. You see, people live in flood-prone areas without even like assessing places that they live. You understand me? Because some of them little islands, they are volcano island, and I don't think it should be. You know, you have to be careful how people live on them island.
True.
So, you know, even though a volcano can be dormant for a period of time, and then it start, you know, do what it's supposed to do. So it just sad to know that this is the time when it's supposed to do what it's supposed to do. But people already knew it was volcanic, and that's what volcano do, erupt. So I mean, we're just glad to say, so far I don't hear about no loss of life. Do you?
No, that's literally the first thing I've heard about it today. I saw it on Tanya Stevens.
Positive thing so far. Everybody can move out.
But why is it? Why are we not hearing about this? Like, this is a major... But I always say this, based on when I went to Lanzarote. When I went to Lanzarote when I was 15, it's a volcanic island, yeah, that hasn't erupted for about 200 years. But if you dig far enough down, and you put cold water in there, yeah, it comes back up as fire and steam because the island is still volcanic, but it's not volcanic enough to cause an actual volcano. Yeah. So now what you got to look at from that perception there is if we know that this piece of island is prone to have a volcano or to erupt, if you start digging for gold and silver and copper and start digging for the minerals out of the earth around that area, is that not now a man-made hazard as opposed to Mother Earth just doing what Mother Earth does itself naturally?
That's a serious point right there.
That's the way I always look at things, you know, because Mother Earth is always going to react the way that she reacts. But if we know that say, for example, Lanzarote, if we go and start digging there, it will erupt. So the people already know not to dig there. Does that make sense? Whereas if we were a group of them gold diggers that go and take all these machineries and go looking specifically for gold or mines and diamonds and whatever minerals they can get, we're going to cause a problem to the natural earth where they are, true? Which then it's now not it's not Mother Earth that caused that, it's us. It's a man-made problem. That's just my take on it. I wonder what everybody else is thinking.
Well, some things can be like that. You know, depends on what they do. But normally volcano always, like, over a certain period of time, it always erupt. You understand me? But it's just like people always populate certain areas.
Of course.
You know? So when the eruption start, then, you know,
and for real fire
research and land that we move and our places that we live.
Exactly. These people don't know that, you know, after a certain amount of years, these volcanoes erupt. You know, it's just like this particular place in the world where I forget. It's like every 100 years there's an earthquake, and there's this one guy that particular document the whole thing. And when it come close to that time, he actually moved here and his family. You know, so because certain things happen every 100 years, and people like to live. Talk about, you know, if you live 70 years, that's enough. 70. Them always talk what the Bible give them. You know, people don't really follow up these things and know that these things must be documented. And like nowadays, me just really see the media personnel them thought there's some real tight thing, like basically them telling you, you know, this was the coldest day back in 2000 and that them just start document some stuff right now. So, you know, if people should really check them history and really check the history of certain places, they would realize that these are traits. So what I say, you know, that, you know, these things will happen. You know, it's nature. You know, because the volcano is a part of like Jamaica is a volcanic island. You know, the volcano, each time the volcano erupts, it brings more land. You know, so
a new trend.
You know, so
yeah,
so ones and ones just need to just know to balance Earth, because it's a balance. If we don't know the balance, then you're gonna fall off. You know, if it was balanced in a way where these people had been taught properly, then ones and ones would already know. You know, but you know, a lot of things being indoctrinated and a lot of the history hidden. So we move along, you know.
Right then.
Yeah.
So
it's sad. It's sad, you know. It's so sad that in these modern time people get caught up in this. It's very sad, you know. But it's nature.
Maybe it's lack of research and information.
Yeah,
because it doesn't seem to be on any media or any TV that I know of.
Well,
which you
see,
would
the
have.
thing is, yeah,
If you can
well,
notice right now, the media just reflecting certain kind of things that they want to do. They ain't into really people stuff. They into their stuff. You understand me? So it's not what you're getting from the news nowadays. You have to really really suss out to get important news. You understand? Because the media can be bombarded with distraction. You understand? Just to take your attention off a certain hotspot or a certain things that governmental people is doing, and they don't want you to be so focused on certain things. You understand me? So they come up with some kind of news to distract you. You understand? When all these real news out there what people need to pay attention to, you know? So all that have things to do with it too.
Of
yeah.
course, of course.
You may have said, yeah, geographically, yeah, the earth carried a crust, yeah, and after the crust, the earth have so many layers below the crust, yeah. So after, if the earth's crust been interrupted, then surely you're gonna have signs where the layers below the earth's crust start send signals to back to the rest of the earth. You see what I say? And condolence to the people in the Montserrat as well, cause Montserrat people get killed by a volcano almost every year. It's owned by the Queen as well. I one of the 52 countries where the Queen owned. You see what I say? So big up Montserrat.
Wow, look at that.
Send you, I think it's 3 emails or 2. I'll send you.
Okay. Yes, as we were talking about Queen Elizabeth and darling Prince Philip, rest in peace. Yo, you're going to be interested by this next piece. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The Queen and her Prince. Their love story played out in front of the world's cameras across 7 decades, and the world saw a couple who couldn't take their eyes off each other. Historians say the bond was real and unwavering from the start.
Love affair blossomed almost immediately.
Philip Mountbatten first caught Elizabeth's eye in the summer of 1939 during a family trip. She was 13. Philip, then the dashing Prince of Greece, was about to enlist in the Royal Navy.
Princess Elizabeth saw this 18-year-old, 6-foot-tall, incredibly handsome, who became the Viking, and she felt desperately head over heels in love with him at first sight.
The Second World War kept them apart, but romance flourished.
He was fighting on pretty much all the Navy fronts.
Philip
Was a correspondence love affair, really. They wrote letters to one.
When Philip returned, he asked King George for his daughter's hand in marriage. With the war over, the wedding was a reason to celebrate, broadcasting the radio around the world. The royal carriage procession arriving at Westminster Abbey. Where on the 20th of November 1947, Elizabeth, the heiress to the British throne, married Philip, who became the Duke of Edinburgh. The young couple spent their first years of marriage in Malta, where Philip was stationed. The princess lived the life of a naval editor, starting a family. But just 5 years later, her father, King George, suddenly died, and Elizabeth would become the new monarch. Philip, giving up his career and kneeling before his wife, just as the new King of Britain. This was a very modern marriage.
This was something that was revolutionary, frankly. As a man who was a highly competitive person for the whole rest of his life, he's got to stand 2 or 3 paces behind the most famous woman in the world.
Over the decades, they danced together, met heads of state, hosted countless garden parties, enjoyed their shared love of sports. There were rocky patches, but many more smiles and happy milestones. Their devotion to each other clear.
Tolerance is the one essential ingredient of any happy marriage. It may not be quite so important when things are going well, but it is absolutely vital when things get difficult. And you can take it from me, the Queen has the quality of tolerance and abundance.
He has quite simply been my strength and stay all these years. Prince Philip was the longest serving Prince consort in British history.
I think anybody in the world would love to have the opportunity of a love affair that lasts over 70 years and manage to create something truly splendid and beautiful and passionate.
Did I miss something, or did we all miss the fact that she was 14? 14, not 40, 1-4. Just to clear that up. He was 18, and she was 14. That's not right. So it's being celebrated by the Star, it's being celebrated by the Mirror, it's being celebrated by the News, and all the rest of the British papers. They're celebrating it. It's a love story romance. John down the road, who's an 18-year-old kid, falls in love with a 14-year-old. He's John the rapist, but this guy here is celebrated as a prince, even though she was 14 when he first met her. Yeah, I'll say it. I don't care if you take me off YouTube. I actually don't care. She was 14. That ain't right.
Well,
That's
that's the perfect example of double standard, ain't it?
Definitely.
That's fucked up. That's what that is. I'll say it. That's mad. That's crazy.
That's what power do, though. When you see, when you have power, it's like you're allowed to do certain things, and you know.
It's mad, yeah, but
I don't know.
Yeah. We're not too sure what the law was like 70 years ago. See what I say? But also
Seen.
Yeah, but it's still minor on.
Also without any discrimination, yeah. Also without no discrimination, go back to Islam. In a Arabic world, yeah, if a girl reach puberty, she eligible for marriage. Even up to this day, it's puberty start at 9 years old. So we have to look closer to home sometime, because them things still exist around me. You know what I mean? I say, but I know something we would even pick up as a responsibility.
True.
Yeah. It's mad though, isn't it? How they're celebrating it as a love affair, a 70-year love affair. She was a kid. Like, I don't. But it's being celebrated on national TV. Like, they put a picture. Yeah, the reason I brought it up is because they put a picture of him and said about how the nation's in shock and distraught. And then they put a picture of DMX right next to it, saying about how he was basically a crackhead musician who looked to be ending his life pretty soon anyway. You know, like that. They put him across as the prince and the other guy is the pauper, even though it wasn't that situation. I don't know, man. I think it's mad. What? Onto better things.
As I say, from that perspective, is really double standard, because I know a lot of people. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but I know people who don't dig Islam because they claim that is it Mohammed? One of them man, they married to a young girl. You see, and that was one of the thing that they used to condemn this religion. So if you can condemn that for that, I mean, why wouldn't this be worth condemning? I'm not an advocate for condemnation. I'm just saying it's double standard, because if you can fight this, which is almost the same thing, you see it. So I never can fathom where Babylon come from. I never can do that, you know.
It's mad, isn't it? So then, I was talking to my partner earlier on, and we was discussing about children and mobile phones and tablets. What would you say is an appropriate age for a child to have a tablet or a phone these days?
Well, I can talk from
When if
I
you
and
say
I.
child, that's not child of the age, Bridget, that's child.
Like say below
Child is a
14.
child. I mean, yeah. No, you have to be 18 or somewhere there, Bridget. A child is a child, man. The word child is a child. You see, so once you're gonna use the word child, I mean, I shouldn't think that should be permitted. You see what I say?
But what about with all the blockers that they have on these phones now? You could go and buy an iPhone today, and you could go onto the iPhone store and download the child protection on that phone, where you put a lock on that phone and they can only access like YouTube. They can access the kids version, or they can only access certain sites. Would that not be acceptable, or do you still stick with you should be an adult? Obviously, it's everyone. I know everyone's going to have different opinions. So.
DJ Daddy, I give my kids them phone a long time, but it's a reason why I give them phone, and the technology keep changing too, and I trust my kids in a way, because I know that the phone can be dangerous, so I trust them in a way where I have to tell them and teach them the danger of this thing before I give it to them. So I sit down each one of them and I let them know the danger, and I expose them to all this danger. So if they don't want to learn, but I see it as a very important thing to have, and I think it is important because all these tools is good enough if it's in the right hands enough. It's all about when it's in the wrong and who decide to do garbage with it. So I mean, I say, so you will have things in your house, and of course the ones know that can be dangerous, but you're not gonna cut yourself with the knife. You know? Same thing, you know, these tools can be very dangerous, and it can be very important in a sense. A thing like a phone to me is very essential in my family. Because me have 4 boys and we want to stay connected to them. Yo, sometimes I come to the door and them lock me out. I dial all 4 numbers and none of them answer. I'm there the door and I knock me to come in because them decide that them lock it, them closing, them putting on a special lock. Yeah, I'm gonna come to the door and me get upset and me can't come inside my own place.
Yeah.
You see what me saying? And them all have a phone. And me ring all 4 phones. And sometimes I can stand up and hear a phone and ring too. But it's our one run them place different. Everybody, every lion run them kingdom different.
Of course.
And like me say, you have to educate them on the danger of stuff.
Go on, as you saying?
I educate my kids them on the danger of this device, and I can only hope that they use it into these right farm. Now I want to touch upon the Queen, bro. It's a big story, and you know these things are coming. These things, like we are saying, death is natural. You know, these things gonna pass. Different rulers gonna rule. Different laws gonna be set. You know, we're gonna put ourselves when our time come to rule with dominance. You know, and to do the right thing, that the generation that come behind don't blame us for making wrong decisions. Or when we could have corrected certain stuff, we don't correct it. Or we have a podcast where we can bonfire upon certain Babylon thing and we can lick out against certain things and we never even mention about it. Yes. So we're learning as we come along. We know it's a bipolar that the UK and Fire Nices, A1 we are clean-hearted people. We pray every day for consciousness and inspiration and wisdom. And the Father will grant that unto I and I. Because we humble ourselves. But you know, there is and that's why we have a podcast like this, because we care about people. And we care about things that goes on around the world, and we burn fire upon evil, and we burn fire upon wickedness. You know, so there will be transition, and there will be transition. And they're gonna be these new youths gonna come up and they're gonna rule, and we have to educate the youths them with the right thing and hope that they absorb. You know, some youth will not like certain stuff, and there'll be kids that will just shock you. You know, because you know I have kids around my house, and all these little man, you know, they are different people. You know, they just some of them just do stuff that's surprising. You know, and they're all talented people in our whole sense. So generation is gonna change. You know, we expect different things from these royals coming up now. See Harry got married to a black daughter and bringing and you know things is going to change. These laws and rules need to change. A lot of stuff going on in Africa need to change. Right now we need to burn a fire upon the Ethiopian them we are war over in Ethiopia. You know, black people are fight against black people. You know, we know that there's a lot of European influence in the world. You know, so many ones have ways how to be benefiting from the demise of people and the downfall of these people. These people getting tossed out of them place and hitting the road. X amount of refugee camp all over the world. And if you really check it, sometimes these big countries, they're behind it. You know, these big people supporting these heads of government and these leaders, and have black people are kill off black people. Are people in Rasta. And if you look on the Ethiopians, them in London, and you look on Ethiopians in America, them all look the same. Anywhere over the world, them go. We can't tell which one or which set different. One set of people, Rasta. When we see the Ethiopian brother, them, you know, everywhere we go through the US and we see them just look like a twin. You know, them all look alike. I see them when them even see I and see John Ice, sometimes them can't tell different because we look alike. You know? So we want to know why these stuff have to go on, Rasta. Why black people have to turn against them own black people and killing off them one another. You know, see, civil war. I go on one set of black people and kill off one set of black people, Rasta. For what? We want to know why these things can't stop. And then we have Amnesty International, and then we have strong heads of government all over the world who know these things and see these things, and nobody can put in an input, and all these people with them power and all the rural police them. We are called upon the rural police them if them not see these things. Because we need to have a rural government body of police in a Rasta where we oversee everybody, you know. Because them have them courts and them see how them have tried have the George Floyd thing going now. Finding through every nits and grits, and sometimes them probably skip a lot of stuff. We need governing body all over the world to govern these people, because some people can't believe alone, Rasta. Some people will just kill off them one another, and like these people who taking over Ethiopia now, we don't know what's going on, and nobody outside can say nothing. And then Israel over there, so Italy over there, so we attack them, kill them off again. And you know, there got to be there have to be a different way about this, Rasta. We need a rural police governing body. We need a rural governing body. Amnesty International is just not maybe strong enough. You know, there's a group named Casablanca in Africa who is always trying to get the ones them together. What happened to Casablanca? Every time Europe come in and give some of these leaders some stuff, them take it and them run away and them don't want to unite Africa. Casablanca been trying for years.
Yeah, that's true.
I get a call forward here. Yeah,
Okay then, so I have a question now. Do you think that music plays a part in unity and also plays a part in violence? Because obviously with good there's always bad in it.
Go on, niceness.
Hey, go through nicest. So my wife keep calling me. Hold on.
She's calling to say
that the UK.
Right. You know, like they say in the UK, the MPs have said about drill music is like it's helping towards a death rate, and like grime music and all this music, and like how they say like dancehall music helps towards the death rate in Jamaica. Would you say that music helps towards creating unity? Because obviously we know reggae music brings unity in it and it brings peace. Obviously, hence the reason how me, you, Bipolar, and A1 Ras link each other through Rastafari, through reggae music. Would you also say that on the other hand, though, it does help with the violence as well? Or what's your standpoint on that?
Well, in everything, you know, you have to be careful of the energy where you give strength. See, because in everything there's good and there is evil. That's what creates the balance, right?
Yes, right.
Now, dancehall music could be positive music. You understand me? It's just that some artists choose not to. You see what I say? And again, yes, true, because artists does have a lot of power. And I see myself, there were times when I go along with what artists say. You understand me? So artists have to take that responsibility sometimes for stuff that they do, because people look up to them and gravitate to the things that they say and sometimes the things that they do. Now, reggae music is a music where it's a peaceful music, it's a uplifting music. See? However, dancehall take a different kind of vibe, because if you notice, certain lyrics never ever can work on a reggae rhythm. If you check it out, you know. See? Certain lyrics just can't work on reggae rhythm. It have to work on dancehall. And that's why a man would have, you know, say that dancehall music do this and dancehall music do that. But it's really the artist. You see what I say? Because enough of the things them what the artists them said, they don't really mean it from them art. But they don't really understand the sound of the word sound, the power that's in the word sound. You understand me? Because when a man say, okay, kill the pussy and the dog under the cellar, he never really mean that, but people take onto it. So you have to understand, say, you have to be careful in the things where you say. You see what I say? And yes, artists, you could say, but people also have a responsibility. Because if Bipolar do a song and say, yo, neighbor, I would get up and kill my neighbor, brethren. You see what I say? So people also have to take responsibility for them action. You see what I say? People have to take responsibility for them action. Yes,
of course.
Yes, artists do say certain things. But yo, if you give me a plate of food and it's really hot, I know that's gonna scorch my tongue. So me know something to make it cool. You see what I say? So until each and everyone start be responsible also for their action, cause okay, a man can do a song. You don't have to listen to it if your ear say it's stupid, if your ear say it's not uplifting, if your ear say it's not good for your kids' ear. You don't have to play it in your house, you don't have to play it in your car. You see it? You don't have to support it, you don't have to do nothing. You understand me? Because again, if when the artist do certain music, it never da get no support, then they wouldn't continue to do it. You understand? Because I remember days when I'm at studio and producer said, oh, yo, I gonna tune more on the rhythm, man. Or this a kind of tune more on the rhythm. You see? Him I decide the kind of stupidity will go out, you know. Him not really listen what the artist have inside them. Because the artist could have come with something good, but then you want to forget on the rhythm. And if the producer say, I gun lyrics, I want on the rhythm, yeah, it hard for you make it live, it left you. Because this is the opportunity to get out there. So you got to show versatility. Because a lot of artists, what me know as dancehall artists, see, they come with certain kind of song, but after time, them change. Even Capleton first song was Bumble Red and something. You see it? But forget in. You understand me? So
Yeah.
it's not only the artist then, because artists, I just know a few artists produce. See, you have to blame producers too. You have to blame the people who digest the music too. You understand me? So we all have a responsibility, King. It's not nothing for we throw up on one set of people. Some of them, yeah, but it's not overall, it's not something for you to throw up on one set of people. Because we are responsible for the choices that we make. You understand
Yeah,
me?
of course as well.
So,
And to the DJs as well, it's up to us what we play. And if I decide, say A1 Ras, John Ice and some Mad Bass are all on the same rhythm, but my show's a dance solely a sort of drinky party show, I'm gonna play Mad Bass's song about girls, innit? I don't want to hear the song about love and peace and unity at that moment. A1 Ras made a gun song, so that's going on there as well, because I know that'll get it forward, because we're talking about AK-47s or M16s or what you're going to do to blow someone's head back off, because you know that'll get it forward as well, so that'll get played. Whereas your song, that was probably the best song on the rhythm, won't get played by 9 out of 10 people because it's about peacefulness. Just
yeah.
Well,
It's true. But yeah, master, yeah. Explicit content and violent lyrics. It's been around like before music, because you have video games, you have film movies, you have directors who direct movies, you got people who write script, who write movies. It would have violent content in it, brother. So what may I say? Hold on there. What may I say basically is it's a whole barrage of people, but music not kill people, because listen, you have people in the 80s where just reggae music them a play. I remember people are dead at the end of the night of it. Dancehall come after. I mean, back in the days when Manley and Siaga them a vote, I know dancehall music I play when Stereomars and Stereograph and them sound they play. I reggae music I play. Yami Paulo them a sing live. I reggae music, but people still are dead. But the topic of the conversation is music not kill people, people kill people. You understand? Because even gun kill people. If you put on the gun just put on there. And people have to use it and take it into action and use it. And
yeah.
But what may I say, yeah?
True.
Just to finish off this, brother. If we are talking about violent content and explicit language, we have to go back to directors, movie makers, Hollywood stars,
producers.
Everybody. Exactly. So it's not just us as a cultural people who are produced are to be blamed for all of this. You see, it's just like look at Jamaica Prime Minister. What the one of them make dub plate, and now Jamaica music dancehall cause violence. When the same music you did that play as your theme song for your election, how comes you never cause no violence then? But no, it a cause violence. Every MP that did a cut dub one day. They have Shensia Pando, they have Movado, they have look with the Bro God, have look with the Fandonga Mobile, Daddy One. The one of them cut dub plate. Yes, I say so. And at the time cutting dub plate election was going and did a campaign, but he never bring no violence. Yes, I say, but it's only how people it's always people perception. And people will always have them suspicion and whatever they might think in them head, how things might play out when necessarily I know that I know always so it work and I always so it go. You get what I say? That's just speculation.
And to the bro God aspect of thing and saying that from my perspective, he's just finding somewhere or something to hide behind. Because we know as you to grow up a yard, no say politician was the first original people who bring violence and division amongst the people.
And gun.
You see, it wasn't the music, it was politician.
Yeah.
And then bring the gun come in.
So now they want to hide the role that they play. They want to hide the role that they play and blame it on the music. You understand? Which they were still in control, and they could have stopped this music from get out of control from a long time. Because I grew up on a thing when they record jury as a youth. See? Where when you release a song, you have to send it to the record jury and like a panel of people who listen. And if it's not up to standard, it can't play on the radio.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So for him to come and blame artists, yes, I'm not saying artists is not responsible, but where it come from? You understand me? Because I'm telling you, the first set of gunplay start from politicians, see? And then other people now start give card. It was only the side that politics support have gone, see? And they used to bother the next people them. So when them next people here now have a virgin, we go foreign or whatever, start sending some gun, come give him people to defend from these people who the politician give gun. And this is how the gun thing start going. So originally it starts from politics. You see, bro, God just attack some things through them feel like say people don't have no memory. See, that's why they might try to get out the elder them. So when them tell the youth them these things, they don't really understand. See, but I as youth who listen to our grandparents talk and things come up, we know so them that's where that come from. All of the breaking down in the society, 90% of it come from political settings.
True.
And political sellouts.
True. Just to say one last thing, yeah. It's musically, black people, we always been getting this fight musically. I'm gonna take you back to slavery days. Even though upon the cotton field, the masters them never even did want them to sing. They never even want them to hum. That's how powerful music is to us. But people just want to put a brand on it certain way. Our music always been branded. You know how much time I tell the people them to shut up and until them have to hum. You know what I mean? Just music carry right through everything, through depression, through happy times, through sad times, through strength. Music of the black people, not just culture, something in there with DNA. You get what I say? So, you see, when them people are blaming it, are just a reason. Them just need a reason to express themselves. Or if you say, okay, we are going to label it, but we need a reason. You get what I say? And the reason is, it brings violence, when it don't really bring no violence. You know what I say? Like you said, you have games, them are 18 plus. You have children who are 15, you buy them a 15 plus game. You don't buy them a 18-year-old game. You see what I say? Everything have a guidelines where you go by my youth. So if we break it down, I would have wholly people that get called out. You know what I mean? Where violent content and explicit lyrics is concerned. So that's trust me.
True. And I can't see. Yes, I'm not, because trust me, I hear some music really need to flush down the toilet. You see me? I say for real, and I'm not taking aside. But when you take out video games, my youth, ain't nothing dangerous like that, King.
Yeah.
Killing a video game, you know.
Because people do it here. You know what I mean? It happened here in the UK, you know, where two friends, you know, like him friend come over, come play a game with him, and the next evening him come play and him exercise everything what him doing at the game. The same way how him kill the person at the game with a blade, same way some come and kill him 11-year-old friend. DJ, remember this happened around 15 years ago in the UK, man.
You're talking about the game Manhunt that was banned.
Yeah. So I say so. Them things happen visually and not just audio, when people listen to audio. Visually happen as well. So we have to blame everybody. We say like directors, movie makers, you know what I mean?
Yes,
everybody,
man.
But
it's a whole evil spirit, brethren.
But
In a different form, but at the same source. You see it? Yeah, man, for real.
Yeah, but don't common sense have to come into it, because bipolar, say you've got a kid, who's 15, he's going to school, all his mates are playing the latest Grand Theft Auto. Say a couple of years ago it would have been Grand Theft Auto 5 or 6. Everyone's playing it apart from your child. So now your child's being bullied in school because he's not able to play that game. So wouldn't you sit with him and say to him, all right, you can play the game, but don't do no stupidness, and you're going to watch what he's doing on that game and then check what his actions are after he comes off that game. If he goes to school the next day and gets into a fight with someone, obviously he ain't playing that game again because they took too much of it in. Does that make sense? You know, on a level. Because like the kind of like the era we are now, I know it was the same when I was a kid. Everybody played Grand Theft Auto, bro, at school. We all played it. Whether it was at 18 and it was made for adults only, all the kids played it. It was the best game to play, where you drive around in a car, complete different missions, being the biggest gangster on earth. But I can't say that made me want to go and become that character. Like, I don't get where people take it too far.
Well, to be honest, the DJ, nah, like, yo, we don't know much about video games, but growing up in the 90s, blood, every kid in my generation growing up in the 90s in Jamaica, we all wanted to be Jet Li or Rambo or Van Damme. and these actors produce violent movies. Parents still watch you go, you tie your cloth around your head, say you're Rambo, man, you get me? Well, you know what I mean? Nobody want to be Jackie Chan who not use no weapon, you get me? Because at the graphics.
Yeah, I want to tell you something. One of my pet name is Django. And you know how me get the pet name there? Because my uncle watch a movie named Django Drive the Car from back in the days. See? And he bought me 2 Thai guns for Christmas. See? He bought me 2 Thai guns for Christmas. And that's how me get the name Django. No.
Yeah,
you
man.
know what Django doing in the movie. I don't know if every man here say if I watch it. But Django has a big Gatling gun when shoot up a post other people. See? But I'm just saying, if I had like really take on that movie as a youth, for really do it, look, I remember, you know, my uncle already give me 2 Thai gun in it.
Yeah.
You see? So I could have taken it to a different level. You understand what I'm saying? So,
oh, ja.
Coming at us in many ways and Farm King. You know?
So do you think it just comes down to common sense then, like I said originally?
Yes.
And then,
because growing up as a youth, we never be all that saint. We used to do certain things, but if we see an elder coming down the road, we would have stopped doing what we are doing until him pass. You understand me?
True.
We wouldn't be using curse words and say elder passing. No, we'd wait till him gone. You understand me? So it's just how the generation evolve over time and evolve with disrespect and respect. You see it? Them evolve with a level of respect, you know, them evolve with disrespect. Them evolve with disobedience. Them evolve with ungodliness. You see it? And that's where we are right now.
And a big part of that to be blamed is the bigger countries, like what I said, they rake out everything, then they just left this broken country, these broken homes, single parent, she have to work, the kid not getting much attention, him free to do what he really want to do, him not get no oversee with what I go on. So a lot of things happen, you know what I mean? A lot of things to be blamed because the same money, you know, same money I hit mommy I work so hard for, you know what I mean? And at the same time, on the side track, the youth I get be a bad influence. So I say, well, for things because of our lack of support. But all of that come down to like the Queen country, more most of the rest of the country, then we rake out all of these other poor country and left them with a poverty and then left people for fend for nothing. And then all these governments will come down with it. Where I still listen to all these bigger heads over here where then I realize say, yo, a manipulation still a go on because no matter what, the Queen will always print the Caribbean money, regardless of what. So you're still not independent. Rastafari, where you're not independent, you're still land at the hands of the upper hand. So I say, so we have to blame only for things before we can actually get to the single parent and the children behavior of certain things. But back to the video game and your mental state, how your brain absorb things. Because if every child different, and when I learn in the UK, can I spend half of my life or so half of Jamaica, is when I spend when I overstand the UK by just being visual and just research with my eyes. It's basically most of these children, they might come from a broken home just like we as well, but them to have the mental stability to sustain that strength where them can shake off certain things. Them rather cry. Most of them don't go through the same thing like we. Same thing. Broken home, Papa never care, whatever never care, but and the way how them observe it, sometimes them soak up too much of it and then they come really effective. You see what I say? Because enough you me grow with in the 90s when we are growing over here. English and Jamaican, African English and Caribbean, African Caribbean, Jamaican, like them same struggle. Same struggle. Very similar because to start a black homes. So that are the first sign of similarities. You see what I say? So a whole heap of struggles, a whole heap of thing, but European and American, like them kids, it different. And for example, I'm gonna close it with the Columbine Killers. It don't have to be a video game. It can be them just to get jeer, and everybody can remember the Columbine Killers in America. The two you who carried the massacre in the first school in the 90s. So yeah. So sometimes I not just game. Sometimes how I want to observe, might be jeering, bullying. It could be anything. We don't know. So man say.
True, because you know, embrace what you just said bipolar.
Yeah.
Babylon do such a good job. And why I say that? Because they have us blaming each other for the shit that they
exactly.
do.
Yeah.
Manipulation.
Yep. True, not journalism.
Manipulation.
They have it set that way, you know, because they know that somebody's gonna say something.
Manipulation.
And it all go way back back in the days. Back in the days, you know, when Mussolini bombed Ethiopia and them went away and formed Christianity, you know. And them found the Anglican and them found the Baptist and them found all different things. So and I know them I go back and manipulate. It's a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and then them wanna say, oh, blame it on this game. Oh, blame it on the phone. You know? Them already know the influence that them have. Them already know the indoctrination where they come with. Them already know what it was gonna do. In. Same thing why these people block these contents.
Yeah, they could have blocked it as they say, yeah, for real. They could fight, because I mean everything will come.
Same thing with the music.
I forgot to a standard thing, like, see? So if you make a game, maybe you have to send it to a standard for somebody to analyze it before it can be released to the public, right? When you see certain content in a certain things, you shouldn't allow it to come out to the public. You definitely know, you see? But because it was always a plan, Bridget. It was always a plan.
It's what sell.
It was always a plan.
It's what really sell. You know what I mean? And that's what these company about, the main seller. You know what I mean? That's why you can still get these people who still produce all these violent content when game or whatever concern. They must have a guidelines for your follow. You know what I'm saying? So I just every parenting skills, and that's the main concern really there. You know what I mean? Whether a parent conversate with them child and, you know what I mean, give them the correct information and
come back
and a regular
come back around to the same thing. Where Dbja that said, at what age would you give the kids a phone then?
Based upon communication with you and the child.
All right.
Because
as I say, it's not only about giving them the phone, it's all your reason with them. Cause all right, you see me, I love wrestling. And you know why I love wrestling? Cause you don't know it's fake. See? So I like it. But they always show us that don't try this at home because it's trained people who do these things.
Yeah. It's fake. It's fake. It's not real.
You understand me? Right. So we need all
And
these
and
people
and that's the
and tell
thing
you
where
say,
we have to
yo,
teach the kids them about the movies too.
Can
These
I,
movies are fake, they are not real. That's
right,
why they're
as a
called
exactly.
real,
movie.
as a
So well,
real
I'm saying
wrestling fan,
these are people acting behind cameras, and in
Right.
order to perfect
Right.
that one thing, they have to do it over and over. These people that you see, they killing with knife and stabbing and shooting with gun. It's not real.
Killing
It's like
nobody.
you'd so love a star and you see the star died in the movie, and then you see the person in real life. I thought you died in the movie.
can I just jump in because I'm a massive wrestling fan and I have been since like the age of 7. Wrestling ain't fake; it's scripted. They do it all. You are right; it is all like camera work and all the rest of it, but it's not fake. When they put someone through a table, it actually hurts. Just to defend the cause. It's not fake; it's scripted, and obviously that's why they put the
Okay,
warning
all
at the
right,
beginning
scripted.
because
Scripted.
if your child or my child tries to choke slam someone through a bin thinking that they're doing what they're doing, or they use a wooden table, they're going to break the table, snap the child's back, probably break your neck, because we don't know how to land or how to fall, like you said. So that's just me jumping in. Wrestling is not fake; it's scripted. But it's still
Right.
the same.
But what I'm saying, a lot of those hit that you see somebody eat somebody
Oh
like
yeah,
that, that's not
yeah.
real. Because you know, if you hit me in my face with this, it's gonna cut. So either they do this or something. They do something. That's the impact is not
They
as
stamp their foot at the
impacting.
same time as they punch. They make a sound effect with their foot, or they slap their leg or whatever to make it sound. But
Right.
you are right. As opposed to when you watch UFC and 2 men spend 3 minutes fighting each other, and at the end, the one's got his eye hanging out of his socket, the other one's got a cheekbone that's like all smashed up. Doesn't look like he wants to carry on for another 15 minutes. Like just wants to throw in the towel. Wrestlers, though, they can go for 45. I know what you're saying, bro. But so then, on a musical level, now then, this is the last thing I want to talk about. The parental advisory sticker. Do you think that carries a stigma? So you know, like say if Bipolar brings out a song, and he puts that parental advisory sticker on his Spotify. Do you feel like that still causes a stigma for people not to listen to it, or for children to want to listen to it? Because it's the same as if you tell a child no, they will do the complete opposite. If you tell them not to listen to Vibes Cartel, Rock Out on Wine, guess what they're going to search up in YouTube? The first thing they're going to search for is YouTube, Vibes Cartel, Rock Out on Wine, the dirty version with the lyrics, so they can sing it. Because if you tell them to do one thing, they do another. So what do you think about the parental advisory sticker? Because I feel like it still carries kind of a stigma.
Well, I think is how you explain things to people. You understand me? You have to make somebody know. Say, look, okay. If I say this fruit is not good, you may still want to try it, but you have to explain. Say, yo, when you eat it, it is too certain. It is too sweet, and it bring up your blood sugar, and it will make you have diabetes, and it will do this. You understand me? It's not enough explanation, and this is why the youth them still curious, because you will tell a man say don't listen to Vibes Cartel, but that make him curious. Why shouldn't I listen to Vibes Cartel?
Yeah.
Niceness. Me have a son when I eat gravy, and no matter how me tell him say gravy is nice, I'm gonna give him some rice. Him rather eat the rice by itself. Me give him anything him eat it. Him don't. Me say yo, this gravy is really tasty. That. No. So how would you put that? So these people with, I mean, I try to convince this little man how much the gravy is so nice. The same way how these kids go to school and these teachers try to teach them, and they're not listening.
Well,
we have to put these things in our everyday affair or in our everyday life.
You see, you can't instill certain things in people's brain without authority. See, now this teacher don't have no authority. You can't even talk hard to the student, so there's no way you can get over them. And we have podcasts a couple of weeks ago where we mentioned stuff like this. You understand me? Without certain authority, then you can't do certain things. You see me I say? But no, okay, for example, you say you're you not like gravy, but whether I eat gravy or not, it's not gonna kill him. So him just a miss out on a nice flavor. You understand me? Like, yo, okay, it's all right. You know what? Taste this, that's good. You understand me? But there are things that's gonna harm these youths. Where you have to pull him up.
You make a right, a good.
Eat gravy, you know, cause this give you.
You make a good suggestion. Jonathan says, is he really missing anything by not eating the gravy? Right. Is it good for him or is it not?
Right. You see it? For real.
So is
definitely.
So it go with these contents with these contents now. This content that this prime minister decided that he want to ban from this music, and during his campaign it was okay to lick out against the opposition with whatever style or whatever force or whatever power he could get or how lyrical the artist could have been. You know, once it has kill the opposition, it was okay. No, election done now. You get him vote. Them never see that how dangerous the music was long time. Them never see the influence of the music long time. Why you think them did a ban certain music long time?
Yeah.
Right. But again,
they allow too much things to slip away too long.
Certain people start to take the thing on a different levels. See? Because
they got to be rules. Even DJs nowadays.
Right, but some people take it beyond.
We have DJs nowadays, right? Used to play culture, start play slack things, start play explicit things. Things where me no want my kids to hear. Why this big change now? Why everybody think they have to play explicit music?
Yeah, but
and that make these artists now who these young artists with that is so talented too, with talent, them have to be creating these music where have to do with sex. It have to do with sex or violence. It have to do with who can rap it off fast and bust it. It have to do with violence. It's nothing spiritual. It's nothing about how good it is to blend some carrot and some pineapple and some apple together and sit it in the fridge to chill. Them not create music like that. You know how important it is for the kids them to go to school and go to every session. You know how important it is for you to listen whatever your mother and your father said to you. These artists don't try to be creative again. They try to be flavorful in everything. And like where DMX I say, you know, these artists have to know that it doesn't just go the chain and the bling and the, you know, you want to be more influential with this music. This music we have to be more influential in how we play it as DJ, or we write as writer. In which I know I can speak of myself, I can't speak of no one else. I will not try to get a bus overnight because I want to create a certain kind of music. I know that I have kids and I is a father, and yo, you know, say I write a song and my son hear the song. At least me I write the song and I sing the song to my wife. And my wife said, whoa, that would be a good project. Call my son right away. I said, listen to this song with daddy, right? And my son choose my song as in project and win the project. Hear me and tell you, brethren, how creative the song were. So I mean, so far as so if you speak some nice things and some cultural things and some positive things with some creativity and some teachings in it, and kids are going to hear and take on to it. And if it was far, my son, it wouldn't influence my wife. It wouldn't be unless she called my son and say, oh, now listen to what they say. And even before I finish write the song, them writing out every word. I never finish write the song. When we finish write the song, so that's a completed project. So we have to be influential in whatever we are doing music. We have to be positive with whatever we are doing.
True.
Because these DJs will keep doing fuckery and will keep trying to make it look like it's a bling bling. You know, see. And even the way we dress, the way we move, the cars or we drive, you know, I never put up my fat SUV on Facebook yet. I never take a picture in my fat SUV like when I say everybody I do. Me not do them something there because I not think that's any influence in them. And that is only to I and A1 Ras alone. And next man might be different. You see what I mean? I say? I have virgins who I see everything in doing shit is different in you see what I mean? I say every car change different thing.
Yo.
I don't see that as influence.
My batch got dead, you know. My batch
So
got cut down.
Make we bless the podcast and you know, make we pray for your world. The fire niceness we know so tell the people in the world to pray for themselves.
World peace.
All of the ones them in the world must pray for forgiveness. And we know say ones to pray for intelligence. And ones to pray for wisdom. All of them people here, them are pray for some things. Them are pray for big house and fat car and everything. And them not pray for forgiveness. Them not pray to the we don't know if I devil them I pray to. Cause I have to be the devil. Cause evil, so much evil keep going on. Cause once the people them start reach out to the Father, have a connection to the Father, them are gonna know right from wrong. So what I say? And them are going to give thanks and they will pray for their forgiveness and them will forgive them brother and have a helping and he who have a lot can share with ones. Me not tell us if you give away you have, but sometimes you know that ones need help. You have 5 brothers, you buy 5 house and give the 5 of them and let 5 years pass by and you go back and check it. And the 5 of them, maybe one of them may end up on 2 house. Maybe you see what I mean say within the time, but sometimes one of them people need help as they go along the way. So we who have a lot of still help one another. Sometimes we're not doing that as family member. We not assist the family member. We see the family member going down and we not give a little helping hand when we can give help. If we give a helping hand when we can. You see what I mean say? So if we bless the world, big up DJ Daddy, UK, Fire Niceness, Bipolar. As we, you know, we know so your phone are dead out. The ones them we always close out with telling the ones them how them to reach we. This are the 6th podcast, you know,
yes,
and you know, strength to strength. You know, next week will be the 7th one, and you know we always touch upon important and influential topic and try to reach out to the ones them. And we love the world. That's why we're there today, and that's why you know we take time out to make a podcast like this.
World peace. Yo,
bless, world peace. A1 Ras and all the major network. A1 Ras and all digital platform. Check out A1 Ras music. You know, likewise Bipolar and Fire Niceness. You know, bless. DJ Daddy.
Yes, Fire. Okay then. So now we can just finish with a couple of things. As always, I want to shout out to Baz and the fight for Isla's army. As I discussed about before, the little lady who's going through neuroblastoma. She has a remarkable disease. So people contact Baz on Instagram or Isla's army. Also, I want to shout out to anyone who wants to get the latest drip, being any jewelry, grills, anything like that. Shout out to Nash's in Birmingham. That's in the UK. And once again, I want to plug the clothing line, which is One Love Clothing. So shout out Marcus and the full crew. And I want to quickly get a freestyle from A1 Ras, and then we're going to finish it off with one from John Niceness. because we can't just have musical artists on here and not show the musical talent. So boom, boom, that's how we're gonna close. So anytime you're ready, everyone, rest.
Gain the world and lose my soul. Cause I know life is much more broad than silver and gold. I don't wanna gain the world and lose my soul. Cause I know life is more better than silver and gold. Hey, some people living at the fast lane, but see them now, them living at pain. Like crab in a barrel, them a push and shove just to get them personal gains. Well, I know life is serious. I know life ain't no game. Once you put your trust in a jar, then your blessing it will shower like rain. I don't wanna gain the world and lose my soul. Yeah.
Mad,
Yes, I am.
mad. Yes, A1 Ras, anytime you're ready, my brother.
If we give thanks for life now, give thanks for life. Cause when we wake up in the light, from a long sleep in the night, give thanks for life. Hey, and when we hungry and don't have a bite, fruits green and nothing no ripe, things rough even though smile bright, give thanks for life. Yeah, that's what I do
Thanks for
today now.
life.
Check out that
Yes,
track anyway. This track, Give Thanks to Life by A1 Ross, is available on all digital platforms. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, people.
Yeah, man,
Until next
people, it's a
time.
blessing to be here another strong, you know. As I said, check us out on our leading platform, Janiceness, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, Google Play Music, our leading platform, as I said, that cover everything. See? So we just say give thanks until next strong. Jah blessing and tune into the word of the Most High God that can set you free. So I say, yes, Daddy UK, take it away.
Yes, we got to my real brother in Gambia, who's always locked in, Abrima. And yo, you see the shirt in it. And just before we finish, West Ham are still fourth, you know. We're still fourth. So, yo, I'm in a good mood. I'll see you all next week. Bless up.